Hello, welcome into my workshop and welcome to the show Creations in Clay. My name is Louis Palladini, and tonight what I'd like to show you is a favorite that everyone likes to see at aquariums, and they do a lot of shows. Tonight I'd like to show you how to do a sea lion, and I'll show you how to do that from start to finish. And I love watching these. They do all kinds of tricks, and they do the balancing of the ball on their nose. They do all kinds of crazy things. They're really cute animals. They might be at a circus or an aquarium, but they're enjoyable to watch. I'll show you the types of clay that you can use. There's an oil-based clay such as this, which never hardens. This is the one I've mentioned before that I use a lot when I was a kid. Awesome clay to use. You can make something, then when you're tired of it, then you can just roll it up into a ball again and make something else. Another type of clay that you can use is a clay called an air hardening clay such as this, and this will harden like in a couple of hours or overnight, and this can be bought in the art store, and they can paint it. The only disadvantage to this one is you have to, once you let it harden and paint it, you can't use it for something else. My preference for the clay is a clay called Super Sculpey. It can be baked in the oven for about 15 or 20 minutes, and you can sand it, drill it. You can make a tremendous amount of detail, and that's why I really enjoy using this particular clay. The size balls of clay that we'll be using are what I did kind of start to make the base here. We're going to make a little rock. So what I'm going to do is take this and show you how to. I've kind of just started to sculpt the shape of the rock, but I'll show you we're going to use the tin foil for this. The next size ball of clay that we want to use is this large ball of clay here, and this we're going to use for the body. And then the other size balls of clay, for the two front flippers, we'll use this size. And then for the rear flippers, we'll use this size right here. And then the tools that we'll be using tonight, I'll show you. I'm going to get going to use tin foil, which you get this at the supermarket or a store like that, and then you take this, crinkle it up, and then we'll be using this to make the rock. Another tool we'll be using tonight is the trusty little toothpick right here, which can be bought in a supermarket. And what I like about this one is you just have to be careful with it, but it has the two sharp ends, and it's very good for making detail like fur or a mouth or something along those lines. A great little tool to use. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take the rock that I already started here, and we're going to just kind of see how I'm just going to kind of shape that into the shape of a rock, just like that. And what I'd like to do now is take the tin foil. I'm going to put this down on the table, just like this. I'll move these aside so they're not in the way. And we're going to take and just kind of dab this like that. Just going to dab it. Push it, make little indentations here and there. So we want to make it look like a rock. Just kind of dab it, and then we're going to take and make some indentations with this. Just like that. And I'll show you. Awesome, something very simple, but it has a really nice effect. So I'll show you what it should look like. This is what it should look like detail-wise. See the nice texture that it made in that rock? That is so cool. It's very simple, quick, and now we'll proceed to make the body on the sea lion. So we're going to take this large ball of clay here, and we're going to just take and just kind of work it. What I'm going to do is I'll show you what the shape that we're shooting for. I'm going to pick up this sea lion here, and see this shape here? We want to make a thin snout up here, the head and the neck, and then we want to make this portion of the body right here. I'll turn that over so you get a good look at it. See how that looks? We're going to make that. That's the piece that we're going to make, and then we'll add the flippers, the bottom flippers, and the two flippers in the front in a minute, and then through the additive technique we'll add the nose and the two eyes. So I'll show you. We're going to take this now, take this clay, and just kind of work it in our hands like this. And I'll show you. I'm trying to make this kind of make this elongated right here for the neck. Just kind of work that like that. Just work it. And just kind of do that. Keep squeezing. And then just kind of do that. And I'll show you, we're just going to work that. This almost going to be like the little tail. So I'm just going to work that like that. Just going to just kind of work it. I'll show you. And then I'll show you, this is starting to get that nice shape that we want for the sea lion. So I'll just show you, just kind of work it like this. I'm going to show you the shape that we want. See how that looks now? This is going to be the nose, the head and the neck, the body, then the tail section. See how that looks? That's the shape that you want. And I'm going to work on it a little more because I want to smooth it out too. So what you can do is just take your thumb like this, just kind of smooth it out. Because they have this make it smooth skin. Just kind of work your thumb like that, just like that. Just going to work it. You want to smooth that out nicely, just like that. Take your fingers, make that nice and smooth, just like that. Keep working it like that. And then I'm going to take and I'm going to do the same thing for the snout. Just kind of go all around and work it. Just like that. And do that. So the next thing that we want to make, now that the body appears to be done, see the nice shape? That's the shape that you want. That's the top. That's what it will look like from the left side. And then see how that, I made that narrower for the snout. So we're going to proceed to make the two flippers. So we'll put this down. We're going to make the rear flippers. So I'll show you what the rear flippers should look like. We'll get our model again. And these are what the flippers should look like. See that shape there? That's what they're going to look like from the bottom. That's what it will look like from the side. And this is what it will look like from the top. That's the shape that we're going to make. So I'll proceed to, we'll take this. I'm going to take this and squeeze at my fingers like this. Just like that. I'm going to squeeze it. It's going to go like that. Just like that. And we're going to make two of these. I'll show you, I'll make the shapes first, and then I'll show you what they should look like. I'm going to squeeze that. Just like that. See, and then see how I'm kind of squaring that off a little bit? So you want to kind of make that longer. Flatten this out. See how I'm making that nice and flat? But then you're going to kind of square this off with your finger and your thumb here. Just kind of work that like that. And then I'm going to take the other one and just make sure it's about the same size, do the same exact thing. See, that's nice and thin. That's what it looks like from the top. Then I want to kind of square this off right here. So just kind of take that. So now that the shape that we want, see those? That's the shape we want for the rear flippers. They're approximately the same size, and that's what you want. So I'll proceed to show you how we're going to put those on the back. So we're going to pick up our sea lion, and we're going to take this, see the tail here? We're going to attach that right down there. Right there. Just like that. And then we're going to proceed to do it on the other side also. So I'm going to take this, just kind of squeeze that in there. Just like that. And kind of just take that. See how I put that there? So the next thing that we want to do, now that we've done that, is I want to show you how to make the flippers. We're going to take the toothpick that I've shown you earlier, and take and go on the flippers like this. See? You're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll flip it over and do the other side. You're going to take and do just like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to proceed to make the other flippers now. We're going to put this down, and I'm going to take, and we're going to get these 2 balls of clay here, and I will show you the shape that we're trying to make. See this flipper here? That shape right there? Right there, that's the flipper that we want to make. That's going to be the right flipper, and then I'll flip this around. See that? And then that's the other flipper. This is going to be the one that's on the left side. So we'll proceed to make 2 flippers like that. We'll take the ball of clay, just like this, and take it, and now we're going to try to, see I'm trying to flatten that out, but then we're also going to make that flipper-like shape. Go like this, and I'll show you the shape that we're trying to make, just like that. Do that, and just like that. So the shape, see that, how we made that shape? That's the shape that you're looking for. That's what it will look like from the side. See how it's nice and flat? That's what the bottom of the flipper will look like. And we'll proceed to make another flipper for the other side. So I'm going to take this, just work it, just like that. Just like this. See how they flatten that in it? Make that flat. And it's going to keep working it. Then work it from the other side. I want to make sure that these are approximately the same size. Looks like one's a little bigger, so what I'm going to do is the one that's a little bigger, I'm going to take a little clay off the end. Just squeeze a, pinch a little piece off like that. Because we want to make sure that they're approximately the same size. So work that again. I'll show you, just kind of flatten that out again, just like that. And see that? And then these, it looks like the other one's still a little bigger. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take that clay that we had taken off originally, the other one, and I'll put it into this one. So you can see I just kind of put that on top, and we can work it in. Because we want to make sure that the flippers are basically the same size. And it looks like if you look at these now, they are approximately the same size. So we're going to take these now, and we're going to take this flipper. We're going to take the left flipper now. We're going to take this, and we're going to take and place him on our seal. See this right here? So I'm going to take this and put it approximately, let me just make sure I got the right spot, approximately right here. And just kind of squeeze that in like that. Then from the other side, I'll show you, you want to flip this over and just kind of work this in so it attaches on the bottom here. Otherwise, it potentially could come off if you don't do this. See, I'm just kind of working that in. And then you're just going to get that like that. And that looks, and we'll do the same for the other side. So we're going to take this flipper right here. And I want to see, make sure it's approximately the same location. Right there. You're going to take, see how we're just going to take that flipper and just kind of push it in like that. Just work it in. Flip it over. And we're going to take, like I had shown you before, I'm going to take, just kind of work that clay together like that. Just like that. Because you want to make sure that it's attached from both sides. Another thing I want to do too is this type of clay, it will crack. So I'm going to make some holes on the very, very bottom. Just like that. And then I'll make a couple of them because I want to make sure that the clay doesn't crack when it is fired in the oven. So what we're going to proceed to do now is I'm going to put him down and see how he looks with if we put him on the table. The next thing that we're going to want to do for our little seal here is we're going to want to make some eyes. So I'm going to take some clay here, get very, very small pieces of clay. I'll show you the size. Let me pull these off first, then I'll show you what size they should be. I'll put them in my hand. And okay, the nose, which you'll see right now. See that? We'll use that for the nose, that size ball for the nose. So what I'm going to do is proceed to put this on his nose. I'm going to take, see the seal, and we're going to put the nose right here, right on the front. Just like that. Just place it on there and put it on. See that? See how that looks? Right there. You can see that little ball in the end. Now we're going to proceed to make the eyes. So what I'm going to do is you're going to take, these are the two eyes. I'll show you the size. It's very similar to the size of the other one. Let's see. They kind of want to stick together on me. But see those little balls of clay there? I know they're very tiny. But those are what we want to do for the eyes. So we'll take each one of those and flatten them like a pancake. So I'm going to put this on the table. I'm going to flatten this a little bit like a pancake. Like a little mini pancake. That's the best way to describe it. See that eye right now? Very small. Then from the side it's very thin. We're going to take and we're going to place that. I'm going to look and I'm going to place that approximately right there. See how I just kind of push that in? And then we're going to take and put another one on the other side. So I'm going to take that little piece of clay, make it into a pancake, just like that. See on the tip of my finger? And then see how thin that is? We're going to take and we're going to place that. We're going to make sure it's approximately the same size as the other one. We're going to place that on the other side. I'm going to take and just kind of push that like that. See that? They're in approximately the same location, the two eyes and the nose. And then what we also want to do is I want to take the toothpick and right here on this side, we can almost make like a little line like that. See how we're making that line? And then we'll take and go underneath. And then we're going to do that from the other side also. So we're going to take, and I want to kind of, see that? We're going to make the mouth on this side. Just like that. So what I'm going to do, I'm trying to look to make sure that I made them, you want to make sure it's about the same size on both sides. So now you can see how I did the mouth? You know, you just look at it from both sides to make sure you did it the way you want. And then the next step in the process for our seal is we're going to take the rock, and I'm going to take the seal like this, and we're going to take and just kind of push them into the rock. Put them on the table, and then just kind of put the little flippers right there. And if we want also, we can take our toothpick, like I've done in the past, and just kind of work that in a little bit. Take and kind of work that together a little bit, like that. Just like that. And you have and we can kind of squeeze that together a little bit. But see how you got your seal on the rock. That's what it should look like from the top. And a very cool little animal. I will show you what it looks like when it's baked. Once it's been baked, it'll look like this. And it's all ready to paint. See how we got the nice lines there that we made earlier with the toothpick? And then you got the nice eyes, the nose, and I'll show you what colors to paint it with. we'll proceed to get our paints. You can use, these are acrylic paints, which can be bought in any art store, and we're going to use these. We're going to use several colors. I'll show you the ones that we want. We're going to use brown, the color of the seal. We are going to use gray for the rock. We are going to use black for the mouth and the eyes and the nose. So I'll show you, I'll just move these aside. And I'll show you the types of brushes that we're going to use. For the seal itself, I think we'll use this brush here. It's, you know, to do the body. It's a good wide brush, and it'll cover a lot of the territory, or it'll help us to cover the seal pretty well. For the eyes, I want to get a smaller brush. We're going to use this small brush for the eyes and the nose and the mouth right here. You know, because it's got a very small head. So we'll use that. Then for the rock, we're going to use this size brush here. It's a good size to use, and I'll show you how to do that. The first thing that we want to do is, I think we'll do the rock. We'll use the gray color, and I'll show you, just dab that a little bit. And right here, what we're going to do is you're going to do the back and forth motion. Back and forth, back and forth. And don't worry if you got a little paint on the flippers. You can always touch up the other parts of the seal afterward. But you take this and you go, I'm going to turn this around. I'm going to do the underside of this, right under in the back here. And we're going to do the back and forth motion here. Back and forth, back and forth. Just like that. Because we want to get underneath. Just like that. And then we can do underneath right here. So some of these areas. We'll probably get these first because these are the hardest areas to get. And you want to paint the entire rock in that manner. So we got that. And I'll show you when to paint that from the front also. Go all the way around. Just like that. Get that, dab it really nice. Do that. You know, when we're in good shape. So I've almost got it almost entirely painted. The next thing that we want to do, I think it'll be easiest probably to do the eyes and the nose and the mouth. I'll get the other brush, the small one. We'll put this aside. We'll get the black. So what we're going to do is dab this. And now we're going to proceed to do, I think we'll do the mouth next. See this little area right here? Just kind of paint that like that. And we'll come on this side, just like that. See that? You know, if I probably got a little more black paint on than I should have, but you can also touch it up. We're going to do the nose. Just going to dab it like this. Just like that. We're going to do that, and then we'll do the eyes. So I'm going to show you how to do the eyes. See this? Just going to dab them and go around. I'm going to do the entire eye. Just want to see. See that? Isn't that nice? And we'll proceed to do the other side in the same manner. Take and dab that. Just paint like that. Just do that. Just like that. So we've done a good, pretty decent job. See the eyes now? Nose and the mouth. You know, it has a really nice effect once you start to put everything together. The next thing that we want to do is we want to paint the body of the seal, and we'll do that the brown color. So we'll proceed to use the brown. We'll do this. And I'll show you. So now we're going to take our seal and just kind of go back and forth. You know, you might find that you might want to give them a couple of coats, because sometimes the paint after it dries, it seems to be lighter. It looks like there's areas that should be done a little better. So you proceed to paint the entire seal in this manner. So we're going to paint that. We're going to paint the flippers. You're going to go back and forth, back and forth. I'll show you. See this right here? Just like that. And we're going to paint the other flipper on the other side. See that? We're going to do back and forth, just like that. And then we'll proceed to paint the entire body. Back and forth, back and forth. See that? Now let's say when you get near the eyes, you just kind of dab it a little bit. You know, and if you get some in the eyes, and you have to go over the eyes again with the black, you can do that again. But we're going to just go back and forth, back and forth. As you can see right here, we almost got the face done. I'll show you. Just go from the other side like that. And we'll proceed to paint. So you go back and forth, just like that. And we're going to proceed to do the entire body of the seal in that manner. I'll show you what it should look like when it's done. The seal, when you've completed it, as you can see, I did the rock here, it's all gray. And then you see like the eyes and the mouth with the nose. And then you can see I've done the entire seal in the brown. Just like that. See how that looks? Looks pretty good. So it's a fairly simple animal to make, and you know, you can make this and you can put it in your bookshelf, or you know, it might be a art school project. You know, sometimes people do studies or they have to do a report like on seals, or you know, and this is a quick little project you can make up for that. I do want to thank you for coming to the show Creations in Clay tonight, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Thanks again. Hi kids, how would you like to win some professional modeling clay like the one that I use in the show? Please send pictures of your creations in clay and we will enter them into a drawing. You can send by mail or email, and I can't wait to see what you've been up to.